Hey YouTube, CB Square gave me a copy of Physynth for review, and I am really excited about this because unlike a lot of the various music apps out there that are basically just toys and they try to get around the fact that they're toys by claiming that they're experimental, this actually gives you the level of control you need to make meaningful experiments with it. A good way to think about what you're seeing here is that these are 4 different loopers, and the loops are based on physics models, or what they call simulations. So right now you're hearing a guitar sample that's being played by these little bouncy balls over here. And the way that works, if I go into the design thing, is that all along the walls here I've made these sample assignments. So I got this bass guitar and it's playing different notes within a C scale. And whenever a ball hits a wall, it plays back that sample. And there are several ways to add in the balls. The first option here is the ghost, which means that when the balls intersect with one another, they won't bounce off of each other. And silent, meaning it won't play the note from the keyboard. It'll only play the notes that are added to the samples in the structure. So if I hit melody here, you can hear I'm playing into the keyboard, and that's the note for that sample. But if I turn that off and put in silent mode, a new ball just formed, but I had no force. So I've got to add in some force so that it's moving with gravity. And you can also control how bouncy it is. And you get some really interesting effects like that. Let me show you how to go in and actually design one of these things here. I'm going to clear this out, and you notice instead of a keyboard I have drums, and I'm going to delete all, and I'm going to make a triangle. And now I select one of these sides, and I want to assign a kick drum to this. So I hit assign sample and hit kick. And I'm going to do that on this side as well. And over here, I'm going to assign a snare. And now when I go back, I'm going to unsilent this so you actually hear it making a note. I'm going to throw in a closed hat. Oops, that didn't do anything because it's not rotating. So it came down, it had no bounce, and it just sat there because this is physics, right? So you got to pay attention to that sort of thing. I don't like the way that's bouncing, so I'm going to reapply that with a little bit more bounce. So now we got a little rhythm going on here. And if you read the manual, and you really should, you'll see examples of how to design stuff that's playing along a scale. So here notes fall and bounce around, and this is actually a series of samples, so that when a note comes down here, it'll go bink, 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 and when it hits this, it will destroy the ball and create a new note at the note making place, which is this thing right here, which you can control with this. I want to greatly reduce my bounce on this though. And once again, I don't want to hear the note that I play in, so I'm going to make it silent. And I can control how fast it's playing that by reducing the force. Let me clear that and and playing a new note with a lot less force. So you see how it's disappearing as soon as it hits that last little L-shaped thing there and comes right out of the ball dropper. And as you were probably noticing, this little experiment that I did right here is not very good. And that's part of the experimentation. You know, some things just aren't going to work. Here's another experiment that is a failed experiment, but I learned from the process. Trying to make it occasionally hit that crash sound, and it's unfortunately hitting it a little too often. And if I slow it down, you see it gets stuck on it. You know, some experiments just don't work. But I really like the way that this bass sound is working out, and I think that shows that you know, there's a lot of area for getting really complex in this, and you can throw in a whole bunch of lines. As you see, I've got 8 here and 22 lines remaining. For $3, this is an amazing deal. This is a real experimental application that you can play around with and learn from.